How is it going, everyone? I'm trying to fix this here. Okay. How's it going, everyone? Hope everyone's been doing great. I want to talk about a few things here. Two things, actually. I want to talk about what pain does to someone, what pain does to people, and how we react to it, right? Two very important things that I think they should be talked about. Is just how pain and suffering can shape us if we use it to our advantage to the person that we're meant to be. A very important thing to keep in mind is when you go through, I think every man goes through a moment of where they're just in their absolute lowest. And this is mine. This is my absolute lowest. Every man goes through a moment where they hit rock bottom and they just don't see a way out. That's always what our brain wants to tell us, right? That's one of the things that we want to keep in mind is, it's not over. It is not over. Is a relationship over, right? Absolutely. Absolutely. It's over. And the hardest thing to do is let go. Okay? I understand that. I'm going through that right now. And I'm in the process of learning. However, this is not all bad pain, right? If you guys watched my previous video, I spoke about how I have a constant void in my chest 24/7 from the moment I wake up to when I go to bed. My anxiety is awful, right? I think there's a point where we all hit rock bottom. Whether that's a breakup, whether that's the loss of someone, whether that you just got fired from your job, whether, whatever the reason may be, there's always a moment in life where you're just like, it's over. There's no coming back. But oftentimes we forget the meaning of the pain, right? A lot of us are just, a lot of us use the pain in very bad ways, or we try to numb it, or we try to drink, or we try to take medication, or whatever it is that your reason is for trying to cover that up. That's only a Band-Aid. That's not going to really fix the true problem. The true problem comes from here. Okay? From your heart. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, sure, you can drink, you can take medication, it's going to cover it up, but how long are you going to take that medication for? Or how long are you going to keep doing drugs? Or how long are you going to keep drinking? You can only do it for so long. So you have to really use the pain to your advantage. Step number one, at least for me, and this is something that has helped me, is just don't pretend to be okay. Like, don't try to go about your life, try to do whatever it is that you do, right? Or don't try to keep yourself busy at first. Like, I think something that's not talked about enough is letting your body process grief, process the pain, sit in it for a minute, okay? And no, sit in it for a minute, but don't stay there for too long, right? You want to do it just enough to where you kind of let everything out. Let everything out. Think of, at least for me, something that's helped me a lot was just kind of sitting in my car and just crying it out, Crying. I would record videos pretending like I would send them to my ex and everything I've always wanted to tell her. And I just keep them there just to kind of rant and to just let myself feel and let everything out. Now, should you stay home and cry about it all day? Absolutely not. Still try to go about your day. Try to eat something nice. Try to do something that doesn't absolutely destroy your day. Keep it somewhat productive, but make sure that at the end of the night, or maybe at nighttime, you let yourself feel it out. Whether that's playing music, whether that's just sitting in silence, just let your body adjust and feel it out. Now, it's very important to keep in mind that this is just temporary. This is life. Again, if you watched my video previously, life comes in phases. So this is not going to last forever. This is something that we have to keep, this is something that we have to keep in mind. It's not going to last forever, okay? Keep saying it to yourself. It's not going to last forever. It's not going to last forever. It's not going to last forever, okay? Say it enough times to where you and your brain, every time you feel sad, the automatic feeling of sadness already triggers and makes you remember it's not going to be forever. It's not going to be forever. It's not going to be forever. It's very important. I also want to talk about how important it is to take care of yourself in these types of processes, okay? Grief is something that is going to happen to all of us, whether that's a breakup or the passing of someone. This is going to be something that all of us are going to go through, and it's going to suck. It's absolutely going to suck. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. It's probably going to be one of the worst moments of your life, if not the lowest. However, it is not going to last forever. I want you to really engrave that. A lot of us tend to, like I mentioned earlier, we tend to want to just make the pain stop. So it's really important to let yourself feel it out, because when you feel it out, you have more clarity, right? You can kind of find the root of the problem, and most importantly, you start to find out things about yourself that you didn't know. Like, start asking yourself, why am I feeling this way? What's really going on? Is it what's something I'm avoiding? Sometimes we avoid stuff because it hurts. But again, very important to let yourself feel it out, okay? Now, as far as self-improvement goes, you need to use the pain to your advantage. You need to stop trying to eat junk food when you're upset, okay? Or, you should have it once or twice, but I wouldn't do that. I would simply eat the best that I could be, okay? I eat the best. Try to make your bed, clean your room, make sure your room's clean. These things, your surroundings really affect the way you feel as well. What you put into your body is going to really affect the way you feel, okay? Not just with food, but again, with social media as well. Make sure you're constantly feeding your mind. If you do want to scroll on social media, I limit myself. I've deleted all my social medias except for one, and that's Instagram. I use that to watch Reels of God, okay? For you, it doesn't have to be Reels of God. It could be self-improvement tactics. But for me, it's going to be God. It's helped me a lot, and it's helped me grow as an individual. And it's, I can look up to someone, and I can try to be like someone, but with myself, right? Now, the way that you need to use the pain is by doing stuff you don't normally do. Get out of your comfort zone, Try new food, try new healthy food. Maybe try cooking salmon or try cooking some beef, right? Asparagus. Try really learning something that nourishes your body, because whatever you put into your body, it's going to affect you here as well. So, very important to do that, okay? And making your bed helps as well. Cleaning your room, having a clean room helps as well. All of these things are going to be small little wins that you get into your brain. And essentially, you see, I'll give you, essentially, the more you do it, it'll start to become a habit, and you'll kind of have to do it. One of them that was for me was making my bed. I'm like, I don't have to clean my room, but I just have to make my bed. So just one non-negotiable thing that I need to do every day. Oh, excuse me. One non-negotiable thing that you need to do is that, okay? Try to make your bed. Make your bed, make your bed, make your bed. Because it triggers a reward system in your brain, right? I made my bed, or, You come back from a long day, you're upset, and you come home to a nice clean bed. It's very nice, and it's something that I think everyone should do. I think it's more important than people think. Exercise, I think, is a big one. At least for me, it's a big one. A lot of people tend to self-harm, which I don't recommend. Not good. Don't do it. Should never do that. But, in a way, for me and for a lot of people, the gym is a way to self-harm in a good way. The pain of lifting weights numbs out the feeling of sadness. You gotta give it your all every day, okay? Don't even try to look for progress. Just get through the day, lift those weights as heavy, as hard as you can, and go home to a nice, to cook a nice meal, okay? If you don't want to cook, you can go to healthy places. There's Pura Vida. There's a lot of places that you could get pretty nice protein, but pretty nourishing food. Another thing that a lot of people neglect is taking vitamins. Like I mentioned, food, vitamins, everything that nourishes the body is going to help you grow, right? You need something to look up to as well. That's up to you to find out. For me, I'm trying to be the best version I can of me, right? What is that? Well, to be honest, to be caring, to be a gentleman, and to be a provider, and to always just be there for me. Just be a good person in general. Great person, good manners. I care a lot about the way I carry myself, and it's this pain. What I'm saying is, guys, the pain is not for nothing if you do the right things, okay? Pain is often a sign of growth for all of us. It is always a sign of growth, right? And that's something we don't really think about. But just remember, nourish your body, exercise, and nourish your mind. It really does affect you. Whatever's going on here, it's going to affect the entire world around you, okay? One thing I learned of recently is the world is a mirror of what's going on in here, okay? So, very important, and people need to start loving themselves, okay? Need to start loving themselves, not by necessarily, at least for me, I used to really, really care about looks maxing. That's all I ever cared about. I was kind of like a little Walmart version of Clavicular. I wanted to just be the best, be the most attractive, be the most muscular, have the most money, be the whatever it may be. It was a very toxic mentality I had, which I no longer have. I've been in the process of rewiring my brain, because there's always someone that's going to have more. So you'll never really truly be satisfied. You need to just be satisfied with yourself, with your progress, and just with where you're at. If you're not satisfied with where you're at, well, let's go ahead and start taking some steps. The mindset is everything. And how do we get a better mindset? Well, for me, therapy has helped a lot. Therapy has helped me. I've actually only done 2 sessions, and from those 2 sessions, I'm starting to understand. I'm starting to understand, and I can finally say that I am becoming the man I am meant to be. Okay. Now, the question that you guys really should ask yourself is, who do you want to be, right? Do you want to have someone with, and I'm not even talking just like in the external world. Again, guys, if you watch my previous video, the external world will never give you true happiness, ever. ever. If you noticed, I don't know if you've seen, oftentimes, and I know a lot of wealthy people, oftentimes the wealthier people are actually the most miserable. Entrepreneurship. Let's talk about that real quick. Entrepreneurship, a lot of them work so much and do all these things and keep themselves busy because they are trying to cure a wound. But guess what? Deep down, whether they were broke, whether they were rich, they are still miserable. I've talked to so many who I hope they don't do anything, but they're awful. They're doing horrible in their mind, and they see the world in such a dark, negative way, which I was never really truly able to understand. But your mindset is everything. So make sure you really watch and really let yourself feel out your emotions and heal from it. Okay, it's gonna take time and it's gonna suck, but 3-6 months from now, after you've done all the self-improvement, you're making your bed, you're cleaning your room, you are going to be an entire different person. So who do you want to be, right? I want you guys to ask yourself this question. Who do you want to be? Think about that. Who do you want to be? You want to be someone who is honest? Do you want to be someone who's a gentleman? Do you want to be someone who's a leader? Do you want to be whatever? It's achievable, even if you're going through all this pain, but you have to learn to use it to your advantage. It's going to suck. I understand. It sucks so much. And even just for me, even texting people back is super draining. Super draining now. Answering phone calls, super draining. I join these meetings for my business, it's super draining. Going to work, super draining. Someone says hi, it's just draining. Everything is really draining for me right now, but I need to be patient with myself and understand that this is not going to last forever. And this is turning me into the person I am meant to be because I'm taking the right steps. But I'm using the pain to make myself feel better by doing good things. For example, also, guys, talking to strangers has really, really kind of helped. Talking to strangers has helped, and helping strangers. For example, yesterday I was on my lunch break at work, and I saw this guy with his hood up in the middle of the street. People were honking at him, so I pulled over on the side of the road, or the next street over, and then I crossed the street, try to avoid traffic. And I'm standing with him, and I'm like, let me help you. Like, what's wrong with it? We'll just start, blah, blah. It's not starting. He doesn't know. He's not getting a single life. And I'm like, well, if you're not even getting anything, not even the lights, it's a battery issue. So what he does is he goes to the back of a seat. He pulls out the battery charger that he had, plugs it in, starts the car up, and it starts, and he drives off, and he thanks me. That is the kind of person I want to be. Now, the real question is, who do you want to be? Remember, guys, I'm going to let you guys go. This video took a little longer than usual, but just remember, nourish your body, nourish your mind, nourish your spirit, your soul. Okay? Those are the 3 things that are really going to make you happy. Okay? Take care of yourself, guys. I hope everyone has a great day, and see you on the next video. Peace.